Hello friends, this video on digestion and absorption part 11 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. About bile. So it is a complex fluid containing water, cholesterol, bile salts like bilirubin, biliverdin. So that is bile. So if you talk about its composition, almost 97% of it is water. So remaining 3% is made up of the bile salts, which is extremely important. Bile salts like bilirubin or biliverdin. So these are all yellow colored pigments which are present in the bile. And due to the presence of these pigments, the color of the bile is also yellowish in color. It is due to the presence of these pigments that even the color of the urine is also a little yellowish. When you drink less water, you would see that the urine which you pass is little yellowish in color. That is also due to the presence of these yellow colored pigments. Now, bile is continuously secreted by the hepatic cells of the liver. So now, since it is continuously being secreted, I'll tell you how it helps in the digestion process. Now, it is not always required immediately. So, sometimes even though it is getting produced, it needs to be stored. So, where do we store it? Now, as I said, it is secreted by the hepatic cells and they are stored in another organ called gallbladder. Many of you would have heard about this gallbladder. So, this is another organ which is present quite close to the liver where the excess of bile is being stored. So, it acts as a storage for bile. So, whenever, as and when required, it will be taken up from the gallbladder. So, it will be stored in gallbladder only if it is not being used immediately for digestion. So, now the question is how bile helps in the process of digestion. Now, before that, we got another term, gallbladder. So, again another question in mind, what is gallbladder? So, let us quickly see what is gallbladder and then we will look at the role of bile in digestion. So, gallbladder is a small pouch-like organ that stores bile. So, here you see this is liver. Here you see a green colored structure and that is gallbladder. So, see such a small pouch. So, this stores all the excess bile in it. So, generally it is seen that after having meals, after heavy meals, the gallbladder is generally empty. That is because after you have meals, after you have food, the digestion of food takes place inside the body. So, the requirement of bile is huge. So, all the bile gets used up. So, the gallbladder is all empty. But before you take food, so immediately before you eat something, you are like your stomach is almost empty. You are feeling hungry. So, at those times, there is no food inside your stomach. So, there is no food to be digested. So, when there is no digestion process taking place, you do not need bile. But the bile is being continuously produced by the liver. So, a lot of bile is then kept in the gallbladder. So, before meals, the gallbladder is always full. And when we say that the gallbladder is full again, when it is full, it is completely expanded. The size of a gallbladder is comparable to the size of a pear. So, this pear fruit, so this is the maximum size of the gallbladder. Location wise, it is located under the liver, as you can see here. In this picture also, this is liver and this green colored structure which you see is the gallbladder. So, it is located below the liver. Now, this is not an essential organ. So, now gallbladder as such does not play a very critical role, even though it helps to store the bile. But even if gallbladder is not present, that will not have much negative effects on the health of a person. So, that is why sometimes due to some or the other reason, sometimes what happens is that stones tend to develop inside the gallbladder. So, what happens? The gallbladder is not able to secrete the bile properly, and due to the presence of stones, it gives problems the person can experience pain and all those stuff. So, it is in many of the cases, the doctors remove the entire gallbladder because removal of the gallbladder does not have much impact. It is just that the patient might be at a higher risk of diarrhea, that is indigestion problems might be frequent if food is not eaten properly, but otherwise it is fine. Otherwise, it is not going to cause you much problem. So gallbladder is not actually an essential organ. It is like good to have. If it is there, there is somebody to store the excess of bile. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online test, get free study material, find tutors and mentors. Thank you once again.